Hello. Okay. We commencing 9th of June, post NFP week. Calendar's quiet. Not too many events. Monday was quiet, nothing. Low range, high resistance, typical. Post NFP, no news day. Tomorrow might be very similar. What happened today? There's no US news. And Wednesdays when we get a little bit animated. 130 has the core CPI month on month and the year on year figures coming out. So that obviously is something to just completely stay clear of. 7 p.m. Thursday, you have 1:30 again. The PPI numbers are very important, and as well 3:30, you have the consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. So 8:30, 10 a.m. They are 8:30 is not a concern. I already don't trade that. 10 p.m. on Friday, definitely I want to be steering. I don't think I'm actually going to be at the charts anyway, to be fair with you. Or if I am, then of course I'm going to be avoiding 10 a.m. Um, that's news wise now. Chart wise, first of all, 1 second. So chart wise, the sibi that we had marked for the last week around liquidity, we made some strides towards it, but we didn't actually close it. There's still a very small portion left open, combined with this weekly high, which has some liquidity buy stops. That makes it a magnet to drawn liquidity, basically something to look forward to. That price will make its way in the future, and it's best to use the continuous contract with a higher time frame. My experience tells me, because if we didn't use that, then let's say we're just using this, we might think, oh, there's a bigger reason for it to go up because there's a huge CB open, where as really that CB isn't as huge. It's actually closed most of it, just a small fraction, which can still be very significant because there's going to be pending orders on top of this. So that's still undrawn liquidity, but it's better to just use this now. One thing that's second thing I want to discuss is the weekly wick 4 levels that I have for that. Um, that's the lower quadrant. We almost did that. Would be a drawn liquidity as well, along with the weekly high CB and this. So 3 key levels this area. And then of course here I expect another major reaction once we get to the wick on the weekly chart. As you can see here, continued bullishness is expected. You can see the last week, which was NFP, it closed where here strongly. So this week we can have some, sinking into discount, but I don't want to see a massive move down. I want it to get to business basically because it's really close to the key level. You do have this busy and these smooth lows. They just look too clean. I think they can be a focus tomorrow, today, because today was just not much, to be honest. Just upset at this liquidity here, the shorts from the NFP, but nothing much. So you still have this sitting right here, equal lows, and if you get animated, maybe the busy and maybe here. I don't think that's too likely, but we'll see. We'll see when what happens when it opens. But for now, I think this can be a good area to focus on. But of course, for the weekly, upside still risk on. That's my drawn liquidity. The mean threshold of this, sorry, not this. 1 second, that cannot be an order block actually because there's no swing low here technically. So I'm gonna leave that. But this can be these two consecutive candles combined. I don't ideally want to see a mean threshold crossed. Mean threshold forms here. You can see this candle open right here. So basically below the open, if it don't want to see daily body for the idea of risk on to be a valid. And also this move here, we already managed to upset a lot of liquidity. Remember last week, a lot of people have seen this bear flag and probably shorted. So it would now make sense that we don't hang around for too long and let them catch on. That we just kind of take off and hit this. Of course, I'm not barring the idea that we won't go here. What I'm trying to say is the more appropriate way is maybe to have a small breakdown here, kind of sell the idea of this being a bear flag and a bear move and this being a bear flag to signal the confirmation, so called, when this breaks here. Then people short, and then of course we can just boom go higher and just take out this liquidity here. So that can be something that's in play. We'll see what happens tomorrow.